Welcome, students. This is Associate Professor Jaideep Manocha, Department of Information Technology, RA College of Engineering and Information Technology, Jaipur. The e-lecture is for final year IT students. Subject is software testing and validation. This is the beginning of our unit number 3, in which we are going to cover regression testing in detail. In our last units, we have studied about white box and black box technique. So now this is one step further. So students, let us start. So what is regression testing? Before speaking about this testing, let's imagine a scenario that the doctor is saying, congratulations, your stomach ulcer is now cured. Okay, you are not having any problems now. But the patient says, it is fine, doctor, but I have got such a bad mouth ulcer that I cannot eat anything, so there is nothing to digest. Okay, you can see this thing as a joke. You can consider it is as a joke, but it is there because doctor treated the stomach problems, but now the patient got the mouth problems. Okay, so there is nothing to digest because he or she cannot eat. So students, when software undergoes constant changes, such changes are very necessary because of defects to be fixed. Enhancements are also there, some changes are also there, maybe periodic, maybe not periodic. So whenever changes are there, it is important to ensure that the changes or any kind of additions of does not affect the our desires, our requirements. Okay, so that's why we go for regression testing. Regression testing is designed to address the two purposes. The first is the change or additions work as designed. That means whatever we have changed, it should be in working properly. But the changes or additions do not break something that is already working. Got it? That means the existing functionality, existing results should not be affected, and the new changes should do something new that is required. So this is regression testing. We can define, you can see the definition here. Regression testing done to ensure that enhancements or defect fixes made to the software works properly and does not affect the existing functionality. Basically, there are two types of regression testing in practice. One is regular and second one is final. So here you can see at the third slide, point number 1 is regular regression testing, second one is final regression testing. So what is regular and what is final? Regular regression testing is done between test cycles. That means it is part of practice. To ensure that the defect fixes that are done and the functionality that were working with the earlier test cycles continue to work. So our regular regression testing can use more than one product build for the test cases to be executed. But when we talk about the final regression testing is done to validate the final build before release. Okay, so basically, as you know that the CM engineer delivers the final build, as I have discussed to all of you, discussed with you in my lecture, in my class, that who is the CM engineer. So CM engineer delivers the final build with the media and other contents exactly as it would go to the customer. That means the customer ready things are delivered by the CM engineer. The final regression test cycle is conducted for a specific period of duration which is mutually agreed upon between the development and the testing teams and known as a special term, please note down, cook time. Okay, so the cook time is very, very important to keep testing the product for a certain duration, since some of the defects, as for example memory leak, can be unearthed only after the product has been used for a certain time duration. So the product is continuously exercised. This is the main funda of testing. So you have gone through the two types of testing, regular and final. Okay, these are basically two basic forms of regression testing. And as I am always saying that each and every kind of thing is combinedly used. That means everything is practically running parallelly. Okay, so our next question is that when we can perform regression testing. So students, it is necessary to perform regression testing. You can see here in the diagram. When we have a reasonable amount of initial testing done already, that means you have done a particular amount of the basic testing already. After that, even you have done the testing, but still you are having good number of defects. And if we are fixing the defects, you are getting some side effects. Then we have to go for regression testing. So you can also go for it periodically. So students, you can see in the diagram, there is a what portion, rectangular box. It is saying that select retesting to ensure defect fixes work and no side effects. Okay, that means you have to remove the side effects. And why? Because defects creep in due to changes. Fixes may cause existing functionality to blur or fail. So you have to take care of this. And the question is when. So students, when set of defect fixes arrive after a formal testing or a particular amount of testing for the completed areas, then perform all the test phases, then go for regression testing. This is the criteria of using regression testing. The question comes that how we will perform regression testing. Here are some important points on that slide for you. First one is perform a smoke and sanity test. What is this? Whenever changes are made to a product, it should first be made sure that nothing basic is broken or breaks. For example, let's say you are building a database. Okay, then any build of the database should be able to start it up, perform basic operations such as if you want to put a query, you can do it. Okay, that means it must not violate the basic operations of database. That means anyone can do queries, anyone can define its own data, manipulate data. Whenever anyone wants to start the database, it can. If want to shut down, then it also can. So in addition of these things, the users may also want to ensure that the key interfaces to other products also work properly, as well as the database. So this has to be done before performing any of the more detailed tests on the product. Okay, so we say that smoke and sanity test is the first step. What is this? Identify that basic things are working or not. Okay. Second is design test cases to ensure that the basic functionality that is working is okay or not. After that, you have to ensure that every time a product is built, this suit is run successfully before anything else is run. That means whatever you have set for the basic, that should be finished properly, that should be working in working. Okay, that means other things you do not have to touch here. The basic test cases that you have prepared must work correctly. Now, whenever you are there is an ongoing development, your basic tests are performing well, no problem. But in case at one step you are getting that now adding this code or adding this part, adding this module, or after adding this interface, the basic tests are failed. So if this test suite fails, escalating to the developers to identify the changes, and perhaps changes may be rolled back, so that we can come back to the state of the product where up to the functionality was normal. So to make sure that problems in smoke testing are detected in advance or upfront, some organizations, what are they are doing, mandate that anytime a developer makes a change, he or she should run the smoke test suite, that means the basic test suite, and if there are some problems, then the testers should go for the CMR, that is configuration management repository. You know about it. So this is your smoke and sanity test that you first have to perform. Second, whenever you are going to select the test cases for the basic test suite, then there must be a proper criteria that should match your requirements. So basically there are two approaches to select the test cases for this basic regression run. The first is in order to cover all the fixes The constant set of tests will encompass all features, and tests which are not required may be run every time. That means a fixed set is also there. Okay. Then the second thing that you go for is a given set of defect fixes or changes may introduce some problems, and for that problems you have to again put some new test cases. Okay. As well as we have one more approach. This is that the defect fixes should have a prior skill to the tester. That means a tester should have the prior skills or knowledge of defect fixing, changes, ways to test the current changes, the impact of these current changes, and the ways of testing the other things also. This is very, very important so that you can prepare optimal test case suite that will run again and again. When we do this, after that we go for the third step, that we have to classify that whatever test cases we have prepared, which will be run first. That means you have to set a priority for these. You can set test case 3 as priority 1, test case 2 as priority 2. So a priority matrix will be there. That means which test case should be at top to be checked first. So there are many methodologies for these selections. So that depends upon your database, that depends upon your requirements, that depends upon your product as well as. So when your test cases are classified, then you have to reset your test cases for regression testing. That means resetting of test cases. Basically, what is this? What is resetting? Basically, resetting reduces the risk involved in testing defect fixes by making the testers go through all the test cases and selecting appropriate test cases based on the impact of these defect fixes. So let's say if there are some defect fixes that are done just before the release, then you can say that the risk is high. Hence, you have to go for more test cases. That means you have to select more test cases. So resetting of test cases is not expected to be done often, and it needs to be done with the many points considering in mind. I can give you some points like when there is a major change in the product, you have to go for resetting of test cases. When there is a change in the build procedure, any kind of large release cycle is there where some test cases are not executed for a long time. When the product is in the final regression phase, you have to go for resetting the test cases. Test cases that are consistently producing a positive result, then you can remove these test cases because this result is coming fixed. It is coming as a constant result, so you can remove. There is no need to check again and again. So this is the main step, that you have to reset all the test cases for regression testing, and after that you go for regression testing. Okay, so this is about regression testing. In our next lecture, we will be taking a very important topic that gives identification to our product internationally, known as internationalization. We will be considering some more topics like enable testing, as well as we will be considering locale testing. So till then, thank you.